Hello everyone, welcome back to Next Gen Data Aspirants Community YouTube channel. This is Babu. Today in this video we are going and exploring few financial DAX functions. Now before that we are running a dedicated playlist for this financial DAX functions. In this so far we completed this many DAX functions which is highlighted with light gray color rectangle boxes. These all DAX functions are completed, and I request you, if you haven't gone through these videos, please go back and watch these videos. Fine. Now let's go and see today what we are going and learning. So today in this video we are going and learning yield, yield discount and yield mat. So today we are going and learning about these three DAX functions. Now before jumping into the Power BI desktop to write the code, let's understand what is this yield term and what is this yield DAX functions. What is this meaning of yield? Yield, okay. Now here if you see, yield refers to producing or providing something like a result or profit or the act of surrendering and giving away to the others. It means if we come to the finance and investing, yield is the income returned on an investment. It means you will get a income on your investment, usually expressed as annual percentage based on the asset cost or current market. That's something here. So based on the asset cost, so let's say if asset cost is 100 and you are purchasing for 95, and at the maturity how much you are getting as a income on that investment. So basically in bonds, maybe in securities, it will be helpful. Fine. Now here if you see in the yield, okay, so yield syntax itself, it is telling that returns the yield on a security that pays periodic interest. That pays periodic interest. It means it will calculate the periodic yield. It will calculate the periodic yield. So here if you see the syntax is in the yield we have certain parameters. Settlement, so which is settlement date, maturity date, rate means annual coupon rate, and PR means price for 100 face value, and here if you see redemption, so redemption always it should be $100 face value, and you know this is frequency 1 for year, 4 for quarter, 2 for semi-annual, and biases here if you see this is the biases as per this diagram. So this is about yield, and while coming to the yield discount, so here it will calculate the discounted yield. It will calculate the annual discounted yield for a security. So here the similar kind of syntax we have, but here settlement, maturity date, par, and redemption and biases. All right. Now when I go to the yield mat, mat stands for maturity. So it returns the annual yield on the that pays interest at the maturity. When you are going, your security is maturing, at the time how much interest, annual yield interest you are getting. So here that's why along with the syntax you will see the issue date. Here we need to use issue date. Okay, all right, fine. Now let's jump over to Power BI desktop. Okay, now here let me go here. First let's understand about which table here we are using. See here I am using a lot of tables. Let's go here. Here if you see I have Y securities table. So in this there is a, for every, so suppose let's say if you did some amount to bond, you will get a bond ID. For this also this we have security ID, settlement date and maturity date, coupon rate, price $100 face value, redemption is 100%. Obviously frequencies, it is half yearly, it is yearly, and it is half yearly, and this is biases. This is bias, and this is issue date, which would helpful for maturity yield, Fine. Now let's begin, start writing the DAX. Let's click on new measure. So here in this table if you see we have multiple values. So for that, so I am going with variable concept. First let me return periodic yield, periodic periodic yield. So it means here I am going to use yield function. Okay, fine. Now let me come to the second line. First what would be my thing? Settlement date. So let's put variable var stm date equal to selected value of uh, y security table. Now here settlement date. Okay, fine. Now next variable maturity date. Next variable equal to maturity date. Selected value of y security table. Select maturity. Okay, all right. Now next, after this, go and check one syntax. Maturity rate to PR. Okay. Now next, rate. C rate, coupon rate. So selected value of y securities table rate in bracket coupon, you need to select this. Now next, after this, what you need to do next, PR price value. So PR should be selected value of y security table PR price value. Next variable. Next here, let's go and check one more time syntax. Redemption frequency basis. Next redemption RDMPTION redemption selected value of y securities redemption value. Okay, now next frequency FRQNCY. This is variable name. Selected value of y security table. Now here let's select frequency. Now the last but not least, basis. So selected value of basis y security table basis. Now we defined all the variables. Okay, we defined all the variables as per the syntax. Now let's return yield YELD yield. Now here if you see, let's call each and every variable settlement date. Okay, let me change this STM date. That's why it is not showing. STM date comma maturity date comma coupon rate comma price PR comma price comma redemption RDMPTION redemption. Next frequency comma basis. Okay, now let's close the bracket. Let's execute this. Okay, let's execute this. Okay, now here what we are doing, so now it's done. So what I can do, let just a minute here, let me go and drag security ID, issue date, maturity date, not issue date, issue date, maturity date, price, rate, redemption, frequency, basis. Okay, fine. Now let's go and drag what we returned, this one. Okay, this is as accepted. Why it is throwing this error? Because of date should be in the hierarchy format. Now let's select it to normal format. Again, now let's select it to normal format. Okay, now what I'll do, so here something it is showing I don't like, something it is showing I don't like. That's why I will go and rename this sum of in everywhere. I will go and rename. Okay, what I will do, let me double click. Okay. Okay, price. Now again here rate. Okay, again here if you see redemption. Okay, again here frequency clear, because it doesn't make any sense if we show sum of biases or sum of this one. So that's why I renamed it properly. Now what I'll do, let me change this to the percentage format. Okay, let me change this to the percentage format. Now it is changed to the percentage format. Okay, just a minute. Now what I'll do, I'll explain how it is getting. So how you need to understand this, that's all. My objective is to you need to understand how. So here if you see, for example, the first one AS, you are seeing periodic yield is 4.11. Why you are getting 4.11? Here the price of the security is 110, the coupon rate is 6%. It means redemption rate is 100. It is above the redemption rate. It is above the redemption rate. That's why here we are getting the 4%. Okay, that's why here we are getting the 4%. Okay, now while coming to the this bond at the bottom, here it is 6%. Why it is? We purchased the securities 95.5, but the redemption value is 100 and the coupon rate is 5%. So that's why here periodic yield is showing high, this 6.06%. So as an investor, I gain both coupon and price appreciation. Okay, fine. Now how could I know that these values are correct? It's very, very simple. Here if you see, one thing we mentioned, these functions are similar to financial functions that is used in the Microsoft Excel. Okay, now let's go to the Excel. The same table, there is no change. Here if you see, let's go and calculate yield. Now here YIELD in the bracket, let's pass settlement date, maturity date, coupon rate, price value, redemption value, frequency, basis. Let's close the bracket. Okay, now let me apply this to all the cells which is presented. Now what I will do, let me change this to the percentage. Okay, now let's cross verify. Let's cross verify. Here if you see, the value should be okay, fine, 4.11, 4.16, okay, 4.16, 3.73, 3.73, 4.856. So the values are exactly matching. The values are exactly matching. Fine. This is all about yield. Okay, now let's go and see yield discount. Let's go and see yield discount. So for this, what I'll do, so here let me remove this. For here, let me remove this. So in the interest of saving some time, let me copy these variables. Let me copy these variables. Now we are calculating the discounted yield. Now we are, that's why here we are going to use yield disc function. That's why here we are going and using yield discount function. So discounted yield, just a minute, discounted yield. So here we are going and calculating yield discount. So for this, as per syntax, we need only, let's go and check the syntax. So here if you see, in that 1, 2, 3, 4, so settlement, maturity, price value, redemption, basis. Okay, so what I'll do, so settlement, maturity, coupon rate not required. So let me remove this coupon rate. Next, price value, PR required. So redemption value required. Now frequency not required. So frequency not required. So let's remove this. Okay, now let's go and return this. Return yield disc. Return yield disc. Now settlement date. Okay. Maturity date. Okay. PR value, price value. Okay. Redemption value. Okay. Basis. Okay. Now let's close the bracket. Let's execute this. All right. So now what we will do in this table also, we'll security ID, maturity date. Okay, settlement date. Okay. Let's remove issue date. Let's put settlement date. Settlement date, maturity date, issue date not required, PR required, rate not required, redemption, frequency. Okay, frequency not required. Now here let me go and drag periodic yield. Okay, let me go and drag not periodic yield, sorry, discounted yield. Now let me change this to the percentage. Let me change this to the percentage. Okay, now it is changed. So now please listen carefully. Here I am going to explain this. So here how you can understand, basically this yield DAX function calculates the annual yield for a discounted security based on the difference between the purchase price and redemption. Purchase price is this much, redemption is this much. Now for example, let's say I can take this AS22948D. So it is getting in the minus 1.51%. Why? Because the price value which is greater than the redemption value, that's why it is showing in the negative. So it means investor need to pay more than what he is receiving. Investor need to pay more what he is receiving. That's why it is in the negative. That's why. Now when I go and talk, let's say this 2.05. So the price value 94 and redemption is 100. So yield discount is 2.05. It means that, so we purchased this security less than the redemption value. That's why here we are going and getting a 2%. We are going and getting a 2% gain, which is price difference between the redemption and redemption value and price value. Okay. Now let's go and cross verify these values. Okay. Let's go to the Excel. Let me maximize it. Now here what I'll do, let me take yield disk. Okay. Now here what you need to do, yield disk in bracket. So first settlement date. Okay. Next maturity date. Okay. Next PR value. Okay. Next redemption value. Okay. Next frequency. Let me check, is it frequency or no, basis. Okay, it should be basis. Let's close. Now let's apply the same to remaining sales. Now let me change this to the percentage format. Okay, now let's go and cross verify. So here if you see yield discount minus 1.51. okay, very good, exactly matching. Next 0.63 minus 0.22, 2.05, 0.94. See here if you see the values also exactly matching. Okay, this is all about yield disk. Now let's go and take the same copy. Now this time we are going and calculating the maturity yield. We are going and calculating the, it means yield at maturity. It means yield at maturity. Okay, now let's go and take new measure. Okay, now here let me take this one, yield, just a minute, yield at maturity. Okay, yield at maturity. Now here what I'll do, let me go and check the syntax. So in this syntax, settlement, maturity date, okay, issue date, coupon rate, PR, basis. Okay, now what we will do, here we will add one more variable, issue date. Okay, selected value of issue date from Y securities table. Don't confuse, here I have a lot of tables with the same name columns. Later what we need to do, coupon rate required, then price required, then redemption frequency not required as per the syntax. Let me remove this, it's unnecessary. Now let's go and return yield mat. Mat means maturity. Settlement date, comma, maturity date, comma, issue date, comma, rate, C rate, comma, PR price value, comma, last one basis. Some people call it as basis, some people call it as basis. Okay, now let's go and execute this. Okay, perfect, it's successfully executed without any error. Let's take this, let me put it here, So here what I will do, along with the maturity date, let me go and add issue date. Let me change this to the this one, remove this, issue, price value, redemption. Okay, let's keep it as it is. Now here if you go and see yield at maturity, let me change this to the percentage. Let me change this to the percentage. Okay, now please listen carefully. Here how actually yield maturity, what it will calculate? It will calculate the yield, annual yield of a security that pays interest at maturity. When you are, see, let's say if you purchase a bond, when you are taking the bond amount, you will get some additional interest amount. Likewise, how much yield interest it is paying on the maturity date. Now here, for example, if I take the first one, 948D, here we are getting 3.39. Why here? Let me drag coupon rate. The coupon rate is here 6%. The coupon rate is here 6% and price is 110, but the redemption value is 100. So that's why here we are getting the 3%, means which is lower because bond is purchased above the value. So what is the, this is the redemption value, but we purchased the bond for the 100. That's why here we are getting the less value. Okay, now when I go and talk about this one, the last one, here 5.87, around I would say 6%. Why? Because here the coupon rate is 5% and we purchase the security 95 rupees. I mean, if I talk about Indian rupees, 95, but the redemption value is 100. So here investor gain interest, both interest and price appreciation from this security. Okay, from this security. Now let's go and cross verify these numbers. Okay, let's go here. So here let's take yield mat. So now here what you need to do, YIELD, yield mat. So here settlement date, okay, settlement date, comma, maturity date, comma, issue date, comma, coupon rate, comma, again PR, comma, what is this, basis? Okay, yes, this is basis. Okay, now if I go and close the bracket, I am getting some value. Let me apply to the same cells. So now let's convert this into the percentage. Okay, now let's go and cross verify. 3.39, okay, 4.10 clear, 3.42 clear, 4.76 clear, 5.87 clear. Now here if you see, I am getting the exact same values between Excel and your Power BI desktop. Okay, so this is all about yield at maturity. Okay, sorry, here I need to rename this as a mat. So this is yield mat function. Okay, so yield at maturity, yield at maturity. Okay, so this is all about these three DAX functions. Now let's go and summarize today what we learnt in this video. Today in this video we learnt yield, which calculates the periodic yield, and yield discount, which calculates the discounted yield, and yield maturity, which calculates the maturity yield. So for a security, different type of securities. I hope you all like this video. Please like, share, comment this video. Please subscribe Next Gen Data Aspirants Community YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching this video. Let's meet in another interesting video.